Yeah, cool. I know you've got that Vic Smash clout, you know.
Hello, how's it going, everyone? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear Dylan okay? Anyone in the chat? We have no one in the chat yet.
Sure, I can. Oh, Lord, that's an basis. What are you doing?
Hey?
Could you address me with my gamer tag? Come on.
Your game, sorry, SNC, how
No,
are
that's
we?
fun. No, I definitely am the first name basis guy at the locals. I
Yeah.
think I know the first name of pretty much everyone who enters Rivals on a consistent basis.
Do you know my first name?
Jacob,
Yeah, you got it, you're a
is that
king.
correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Gosh, I said it and then I hesitated. Like, oh my god, did I get that wrong? How embarrassing!
No, you've got it right.
Anyways, what are we doing here tonight, Pisky?
So,
You've roped me into something. What are we doing?
so tonight we're just gonna go through the rival set. Let's just dig straight into it, I guess. So I actually want to know, because when I was
Oh, man,
playing...
I've set you up for the intro and you just left me hanging there. Come on.
Alright, well, we're gonna go through the Rivals of Aether set at the Rambat versus Irene, and if we have time against... Oh no, I've forgotten his name. An Ori player. Yeah.
You want the prompt?
Yes. Rendered Spy. That's right. That's right. I watched that set a couple of times, but... Yeah. Alright. Anyone in the chat?
Screen right now in front of you. He's commentating your first set.
I'm actually in shambles. I'm trying to half get my chat up on my phone at the same time.
There's a couple people in chat. It's all good.
Yeah.
You
Stream
just need,
manager.
just need to relax, man.
Just need that big deep breath in.
You can't go into this already feeling stressed because by the end of the VOD review, you'll be an absolute wreck.
I'll be in
After
shambles.
an hour of having SNC yell at you about Crag.
Cool. All right. Well.
Yeah. You won't be able to recover.
No, I won't. I've already taken preparations today to mentally prepare myself for this. So. Yeah. Let's.
You tell me when you're ready. Are you doing any note taking, or is the stream the note taking?
I've got my notebook next to me. Yeah. So I think this is gonna be a really basic thing because I don't.
I have to
Wait, you
tell you, Pisky, these delayed responses.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of a delayed response from you. You're kind of patching up a bit.
Are you cutting out on your mic?
You're cutting out on my side.
Yeah.
Should pull up a mask and bring up a Notion window. Okay, so I'm dropping out, you're saying? Oh no.
Yeah, dropping out every now and then.
Okay.
I don't know if it's your mic settings in Discord. It may be too high, like the whatchamacallit, input sensitivity. You may need to put that a little bit lower so that you don't cut out.
The input sensitivity, okay.
You're probably going through fine on stream. It's just that you're cutting out for me every now and then.
Okay. Well, do you want to just run with it, and if it gets worse, we'll try and fix it up.
Oh, I mean, it already seems better.
Already seems better?
We'll see, hey?
I guess we will. Okay. So, let's get started.
Alright, you want to jump into it?
Yep, happy to jump into it.
Alright, so we missed the whole stage ban process here.
Yeah. Basically, my thought process was...
So, who's selecting the stage?
I was
Do you
blue
remember who's
bands.
selecting the stage, just so we can go stage ban order? Alright.
I think she won RPS. Yes, she did.
Okay. Okay, it doesn't make an impact. We're just looking at the type of stages
Yeah.
that have been banned. So this is something that I already spoke to Irene about in our VOD review session the other day. You have to sort of know what kind of Crag player you're playing against. I think her banning Fire Capital against you is sort of saying that she's scared of like rock play to some extent. Having that large space, maybe not being comfortable in killing you, and it's just like rock play in this matchup is really powerful.
Yeah, because you can camp her out.
You can sort of play it as like a heavy zoner style, and if the Eliana isn't comfortable playing that style, you can beat the Eliana that way,
Yeah.
which is interesting to think about. So you've banned a flat stage. So the two platforms, they're quite low. So you sort of consider this one of like the flat stages in the game. Blazing Hideout, which is a long stage with that long platform that's quite high up, and Merchant Port. So Merchant Port is like a fairly standard starter. These two are the more interesting ones to discuss. Banning Blazing. Now, a lot of this isn't going to be relevant in the future. I'm going to give you the hint that we're cutting these from our starter list.
Wait,
and we're
which
going
ones are you
back to
cutting?
default starters. But I think Blazing against Eliana
Okay.
is quite interesting to play on. That high plat, Crag has access to up tilt against Eliana, and that is like a tech chasing tool from above.
Yeah.
Eliana doesn't really have access to the same level of options. Up tilt is pretty committal, so it's quite
Her
difficult
up
for her
tilt
to
when
use
she
it
gets a chain
without
through, yeah.
having to hover up and yeah. It's just if she's below you, it's difficult for her to make use of it without having to commit to aerials.
Yeah.
Whereas Crag can sort of play it in a couple of different ways, and Rock is extremely strong at threatening that platform from below. It's just the Rock angles are really good. So if you think about neutral throw and forward throw, it's just really good in many matchups. But I think Aliana is one of the really good ones as well. But I'm interested that you've both banned one flat stage each. That's what looks odd to me.
Yeah. So, like going in, because I actually don't know most rival characters, like how they play. There's like Xenoburn, Forceburn, Crag, obviously, and then maybe one or other. So, like for the most part, I actually don't know what a character's strengths are. Like you'll see me adapt through game one. Pretty much just didn't really understand what her kit was, and I got kind of gimped by a lot of things. Which game two I didn't get punished by. So I was going more for comfort picks. Was it Fire Capital? I was thinking about heading there. Otherwise, like Tower of Heaven is pretty much my go-to. And
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what it's called, but like the Smashville-esque one, which he's banned in the bottom row.
As well, that one.
Yeah, I think what I left open right before we banned was, hey Yarb, was Tower of Heaven, and
Yeah, it's a comfort pick, and if you're not really comfortable with the
yeah, and the one to its
character,
right.
I get that.
Is that
I'm probably more interested in the starters in the next set. Yeah. Probably going to be more interested in the starters in the next set against Ori than Aliana. But Aliana, it's like you can play this matchup in so many ways that I'm just interested in the ones that you've banned more than like where you end up going. And it's just the fact that you've both banned a flat stage is interesting to me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like I don't know what that exactly tells you. All right, so I'll tell you now. Rock
Is busted.
probably is going to be quite overwhelming against Irene over the course of this set. I just have a feeling from how she played against Handman and watching her from the other night. And neutral air, the way you're using neutral air is pretty important in this matchup as well. Because it occupies a lot of aerial space against Aliana and threatens quite a lot in that way. You were trying to do in that situation,
Wait, hang
throw
on.
the rock down,
stream's-
land this platform down special, yeah?
Your stream is lagging a bit. I might just lower the quality. Can I do that? I mean, surely.
I can probably lower the quality.
Yeah, put it to 480 if you could.
Yeah. knocked it down to 480. That might
Oh, you're a
help.
king. Thank you. Yeah, that should probably help out a bit.
Yeah, so pulling rock here, you're going for the down throw, and you instantly start drifting back. I can see that you're trying to land on the platform and do down special. Is that correct?
No, I think I saw their dash in, so I just wanted to retreat to get some space.
All right. What was the plan with the rock?
I think it was...
So, yeah, we have to go back just a little bit further.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you've been knocked onto the platform. You can see that Steam's occupying this space. You know, Irene's over this way. So pulling the rock here. And what was interesting to me is that she's approached with a back air, and that you haven't like instantly dropped and just thrown the rock at her straight away. As soon as she started backing off like this, you know the Steam's going to rise up this way. It's not going to move towards you. So dropping through the platform and throwing directly at her probably would have worked out. And you can even potentially get a re-grab combo going from that stage. You opted for the down throw, which is fine. It put you in a little bit of risk of getting hit by this, but the rock moves the Steam enough that you have enough time to get away. But the double jump is probably what did you in here. This has taken up a lot of time. You probably should have just gone for the down throw and either fast fallen and wave landed back onto the platform, or potentially used another movement option other than this double jump, because it's put you in the air, the vulnerable state. You know, a rock is now down here out of access. It just gives Irene enough time to potentially see your movement and punish it. Yeah. Since you've sort of committed yourself up too high, and that Steam was just in a position where I think it may have cut off the platform. Yeah. So with this missile, it moves the Steam again, obviously. Anyways, so you've been hit by the missile, fallen through the platform, and you kind of put yourself in an awkward spot here.
Quite briefly, can I just get you to explain how Steam works?
So the old idiom of between a rock.
Because
Steam,
I don't understand this character at all.
Whenever it's moved, but yeah, whenever Steam is moved by a hitbox, I think all characters become intangible to Steam for about 16 frames. Okay. So there is a small overlap where you can move Steam with your own hitbox and then move through it slightly. So if you were to do like a neutral air through this and drifting towards the direction that Steam's going to be sent, you would be invulnerable long enough to get out of it, essentially.
Okay.
So moving Steam and controlling Aliana's Steam is pretty important, and that's why that rock throw sort of allowed you to get out of it. Otherwise, if that Steam wasn't moved, you would have just been hit by it as soon as the throw occurred.
Okay, yeah.
If you parry Steam, all Steam that is on the field then becomes your Steam, which is interesting to think about.
That sounds really bad for Eliana.
Fortunately, Irene hasn't spaced herself correctly to get to this rock, but she was definitely actionable much sooner than you, or at least was able to approach the rock faster than you.
Yeah.
And by timing this wrong and positioning it in the wrong position, she's left herself vulnerable to this. Otherwise, this would have been probably a little bit risky. The only thing that sort of saves it from being like a really bad decision is that the rock shards will usually hit the player before they can parry the down special. So the down special is actually pretty risk-free. It just means that you are essentially giving your opponent a free parry on the shards, and they get invuln to approach you. And since you're like locked into this corner spot, that can be fairly difficult against Eliana, because she can very quickly move in onto this space and start taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
So it's worked out in this situation. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, like, what are her biggest strengths? Like, obviously.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, sorry, am I cutting out again? Hello?
Oh, just for a moment there.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
so
what.
biggest strengths is
Yeah.
her biggest strengths. Aliana is definitely a character that can zero to death. Most of the cast, if played perfectly. I know Rivals almost has that reputation of being, the fighting game that every character has a touch of death kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or like at least like in the platform fighter space. But Aliana is probably like the only character that can make that very visibly true. But that obviously comes with the downside of being such a large character, heavy hitbox, heavy character. So large, heavy hurtbox. You can imagine that a disadvantaged state is pretty poor. And that sort of balances out the character in some way. She has multiple like zoning control tools. So missile is really fast, and just her aerial mobility and things like that. She can stay off stage for a very long time. She has like a very unique recovery pathing.
Yeah.
She's an interesting character to think about. In any case, one of my favorites to fight against actually. But I definitely approach this matchup as like a zoner, and um, my zoning is the thing that my Crag is most known for. So that's why I get a lot of enjoyment out of playing those kinds of matchups. I think you sort of play it from a zoning play style to some extent as well, which we'll probably explore over the course of this.
Yeah. I definitely like playing Crag.
It's all about controlling space.
Yeah.
So because of the way Aliana moves around, a lot of the time you're not actually trying to directly hit the Aliana, you're trying to deny space. So because of her recovery pathing being like she can go up really high, you have to think about what your rocks are going to be doing whenever you throw them. If you want to use rock shards instead, what's the best angle to cut off? And if you cut off that angle, how far are you going to send them back? How much heat do they have? So obviously Irene's at pretty low heat at the moment, so you can see the bar on the bottom of the UI here and above Aliana's character at all times.
Yeah.
Obviously you can't see it above the camera here. So you have to think about your opponent's heat level as well in all situations. So you hitting her off stage here meant that she still had a lot of options because her heat was at 0. She can delay off stage, she can rise up, and then when she releases any of her strong attacks, the heat decreases by a certain amount.
So she can do...
That sort of scales down with consecutive strong attacks in the air.
Yeah.
Um,
So how does the
when
heat
she's
bar
in this
work?
this state where she isn't overheated, when she's in this state where she isn't overheated, she has hover for quite a long time that she can sort of hold this spot off stage. It can become like a 10-second edge guard in some situations.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, so we've knocked Irene off stage, and she's done the Aliana thing, where she's hovered in place, waited for you to throw out an option. Obviously, you haven't extended far enough to make that happen. So, either needs to... And let's see. So, we got the Nair coming in from the platform, and you probably just mistimed this double jump. You needed to wait her out just a little bit, because if you fall and then rise with a double jump fair, that probably would have connected a little better. And since you've gone for the double jump, you faded back instead of moving in for the fair. You have to remember that you have pillar. If you're going to extend, sometimes it's okay. I don't think Irene is at a high enough percent to make that particularly worth it. I think knocking her back off stage at this percent, right then is when I would grab rock.
Okay.
So, landing from the Nair, grab rock straight away, and then we can think about how we want to use rock from there. So
would you say grabbing rock is high
we
priority?
can do direct throws. So you have the full angle of jumping. Sorry, are you trying to say something? Because I think your mic's still cutting out, dude.
Yeah. I don't think my mic's too happy. I'm gonna try just something on OBS. Not OBS. I might try Discord browser, so I'll just be a second.
Okay.
Sorry about this, guys. Won't be too much longer. Hello, how's it going?
Yeah, actually, that's a lot better.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, well, I can actually hear you a full sentence now.
Okay, good, because I was like asking you things and I don't think you could quite hear me.
No, I think I was potentially talking over the top of you, because only half the stuff you were saying was coming through.
Oh, okay. I just need
Right,
to make
so
sure.
question?
Oh, yeah, can you just explain how Steam works exactly?
I thought we already had this discussion.
Maybe, but I forgot, perhaps. It was like, hang on,
So, all of her strong attacks,
wait,
when she isn't overheated,
she isn't overheated.
yeah, release steam. The longer that she charges it, the more steam gets released, and the further they get propelled to a certain extent. So you get like a large cloud of steam, sort of when she releases it. And any hitbox moves the steam around.
Yeah, okay.
If you move the steam around with a hitbox, you are intangible for like 16 frames. And releasing steam also decreases the overheat meter. So
Okay.
when Aliana is off stage, you'll often see them drifting and hovering around with a while charging a strong attack, because they'll be trying to release as much steam as possible while off stage, so that they can decrease their heat, so that they can keep doing this extended recovery chain.
Yeah, okay, cool. That does make sense.
But it's not particularly relevant in the current situation. So Irene is at 0 heat here, and as I was saying before, I think the second that you knocked her off stage with Fair at this percent, this is when you should have pulled Rock.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, what I asked before I disconnected was, would you say prioritizing grabbing Rock when she's off stage? Would you do that?
Yes, it's a sometimes thing, but I like having Rock as an edge guarding tool, even if I'm just throwing it immediately to deny space. But it really depends. So since Irene is at no heat,
Probably not.
I think you need to grab Rock to start like an extended edge guarding sequence, or at least start denying space, because you want her to have multiple attempts to get back on the stage, and as she's doing it, the heat obviously increases, and that puts the pressure on her to recover in certain ways.
Yep, that makes sense.
While you're increasing your chances of her having to up special, and then you potentially getting an easier kill that way.
Yeah, sure.
So, in this situation, I think her DI was pretty good, and she was able to hover in a couple of different ways to hover out. I think extending with the Fair was a little ambitious. If you had have done what I said before, and timed like a fast fall double jump Fair to get the exact spot, it probably would have connected, because Irene was not using an anti-approach option. But this is like one possibility. I think she was actionable in time to Fair and prevent you from doing it, or Dare, like Rising Dare would have cut it off. So I think, like 90% of the time, this is where I would have just grabbed Rock on the platform like this, and then you have a few different ways to approach it. So you can throw it directly at her, either from the platform, or jump off the platform towards her and throw the rock.
Yeah.
You can jump off the platform to like this vertical space here and throw the rock upwards and try to cut off this space for a certain period of time. And now that means that Irene can't go for a high recovery instantly without also having to do something about the rock. So she has like certain aerials that can break the rock if timed correctly. So up there and Fair, potentially. if she like drifts in at the same time the rock's moving. But that up throw makes it quite difficult. Or you do a neutral throw so that you have a slower projectile that cuts off that arc, and that arc is quite useful in the exact position that Aliana's going to be. So I think in this position I would probably opt for the forward throw or the neutral throw myself, while moving towards Aliana to try to get a better neutral throw arc, or to be close enough to get a re-grab after the forward throw, so that I can then either throw the rock up from further out, or again just throw it right back at her. It really depends on the positioning on where Aliana's going to be hit. So I think Rock definitely could have seen some use here. So instead we've mistimed that fair, and she's gone high, and you can see that she's tried to implement the strong attack here to get rid of the heat that she's amassed in that recovery. Because she's gone to like half heat there before releasing this. Unfortunately, she's also come back without an option that covers this space, so she's not using aggressive options in her recovery. So that up tilt's connected fairly easily there. From the up tilts, I have to remember, what are the... So the arrow keys go like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
There's a way to go like 1 second, yeah?
If you want to go 1 frame, you do the less than or greater than key.
Yeah, sure. 1 frame isn't super useful, is it?
Oh, it's actually so useful in Smash for some reason. Because, I don't know. Look at really small interactions.
You've done a short hop here instead of committing with like a full hop of momentum. So this forward air, I think, would have connected
With a full hop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Potentially. This definitely looked weird to me the first time I saw it anyways. Pulling rock there was ambitious.
Yeah, I didn't realize how great her up air was until
well, not even up air. It's just... Pulling rock is pretty committal. And Irene hasn't gone off stage at that point. She's still like able to land in this space, and she's just punished you for it immediately. So at this stage, she's going to couple up air chains. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that she didn't extend that any further. Like a back air there probably would have been good. And I think this is the first time have seen you recover against Aliana, hey?
Yes.
Did this come as a surprise to you?
Yeah, I was completely shocked.
Yeah, so anytime that you pillar against Aliana, if they can put a missile in play, or they already have a missile in play, no matter what height the pillar is at, you have to be ready to jump off that pillar and recover.
Okay. It's like an immediate thing.
Had she not popped this pillar immediately, with the missile, she probably wouldn't have had another opportunity to do it. So I think jumping up and then potentially waiting to see if the pillar is broken by a stray missile that was out. So we knew the missile was out. And if it doesn't get broken, you potentially land again, because Irene's also put herself into overheat. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with Aliana's mechanics, but when she's in overheat, she actually loses access to not only hover, but all of her specials except up special.
Really?
Yeah, so she can't. Yeah, she can't throw out a missile towards you right now.
All specials except up special.
Yep. And when she up specials,
it explodes.
Yeah, it explodes much sooner because it's in overheat too.
Okay. And what's the other thing you said? No specials and...
No hover.
No
so
hover.
She gets a little double jump animation. Okay. So this is a decent situation for you. Obviously her strong attacks are also charged, so she has explosive strong attacks instead of steam.
Yeah.
In this state as well. But I would still say that this is like a decent situation for you if the pillar isn't broken by a missile. You weren't ready for that to happen. You've been put into pratfall. You can wall jump out of that state.
Yeah, so I think I actually get that later on in the next game. But
it's come as a surprise to you. You've probably never seen it happen before.
Yeah.
But if you're prepared for it, and obviously, like, you didn't jump off the pillar straight away. If you're prepared for it, you can still wall jump and then double jump out.
Yeah.
Air dodge. You got recovery options. The platform being as low as was probably didn't help.
Something as well is that I haven't played Crag in a while. Well, this game in a while. So just my rock shards, I'm a bit rusty at getting the connecting my moves to the rock to shatter them.
Good things here. And then I saw a couple of very bad things. So, the nair to break the rock shards is definitely slower than just forward airing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if your aim was to send the shards in a horizontal direction.
It was, yeah. Does fair if you hit rock stick?
I would have done the same. I would potentially see that Irene's in the air and gone for a re-grab and then throw, be it neutral throw or forward throw. But if you're going to use the shards, I think forward air to cut off just a little bit sooner, because she was in the air, she didn't have a counter for it other than air dodge. And if she had to have air dodge, she probably would ideally wave land on the stage or something. So that's fine. We get the forward air off the shards, which I'm happy about. Like that. Really important to be able to combo off your shards. And then we got the rock in play. So this situation is a little bit different than what it was last time. Irene's heat's pretty high. So what we're looking to do here is to cut off the immediate recovery pathing. And then from there, we have a very easy edge guard. So her immediate recovery pathing at this heat has to be either like hovering directly towards the stage, and that's going to be with either a strong attack to release heat as she flies by, or she's going to go for something a bit more direct without charging that strong attack. So in this instance, she's done what I've said. She's like approached the stage with the strong attack. She's got rid of some heat. I think it was a potential mistake to throw that rock upwards in the spot that you did, because there's better opportunities here. I think what you potentially should have done, knowing that her recovery path is pretty restricted, is just do a little bit of short hop, hover into this space here. You don't have to be like quite off stage, but you want to be able to go off stage from the position that you're in. So that way, if you do a throw, you can double jump. And that way, if she started going high, you can throw the rock upwards. If she started going low, as she's done here, you can throw the rock towards her.
So I had a similar idea over here. So the reason I threw it up was I was thinking that as it comes down, that's a threatening hitbox. And then I'll fair her.
It's threatening in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Because of this platform that's hanging here. It needs to be threatening either on the lip of the stage here, or off stage here.
Yeah.
This platform still... I know you threaten this space, but you want the rock to be doing as much as it can, so that way you are free to go up here, or move back and then use the shards, or move here, because you kind of want that rock to either be in this space or off stage to an extent, so that if you want to do like a re-grab, like say she goes high, if you throw the rock and it hits her, you can probably get a re-grab combo going from below it. I think the spot that you throw it in doesn't do enough, because she can still recover to this spot here.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
If she's getting to that spot, I imagine she's hitting you in the process. So that also means that the rock isn't coming down to stop a combo or, you know, swap the advantage states again. So if she comes back and attacks you, she's in advantage, the rock hits her. Now it's sort of like you're in advantage again. It does more in that spot anyways. But I think delaying this throw meant that you had the option to cover this angle as well. But throwing it there too soon in the spot that you didn't do enough. And that was when it got weird for me. Forward special, what are we doing?
I couldn't tell you if I knew. I think I was looking to cut her off on a low recovery. And I didn't want to F-tilt.
I like it as a niche edge guard every now and then. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't use it very much myself, but look at the heat. Surely there's more we could be doing with just like a down tilt or something as she gets close to the wall to force her into overheat state. She's going to do that herself, or just didn't. But she's seen that you're in that state. Aliana's eject, and this is a little bit weird how this happened. Aliana's eject has iframes for about 3 frames, so she actually got hit at the top of your forward special instead of underneath it.
Oh.
So it doesn't change the angle in which she gets sent or anything. The hitbox is still the same throughout, but it does change the launch angle. You weren't fast enough to get an up here, and you started to drift back over the rock, because the rock was now an obstacle for you, wasn't it? So this is another reason why I didn't like this rock here. It became an obstacle for you later in the same sequence.
Sure.
You definitely had either like a neutral air, a forward air, an up air. You had 3 different aerials that would have hit Aliana there, but you went around the rock, and you've locked yourself in a position where you can't do anything, and you completely mistimed how long Aliana's inactive with, and also gone for the same time with your slowest possible attack. I want you to basically unbind forward strong in your mind.
Okay, never do that again.
This attack does not exist.
Wow.
It is too committal, especially for what you've just done.
Okay.
This was a down tilt. At the very least, you're using like a fast hitbox straight away. You've got some DI mix-ups where you potentially get a kill. You have to work harder for your stocks, is what I'm saying. You can't just go for this direct slow option. If you want to use a strong attack, it has to be up strong or down strong, because they're fast options that basically do the same thing as forward strong. They're a little bit weaker and they hit for a little bit less damage, but the way Crag plays, you can rack up enough % with your zoning abilities that never becomes super relevant, I feel.
Well, do you know what the frame... Oh, sorry, while we got the dot here, I do not know how this works.
What are you after?
Oh, well, I was after the Crag smash attacks, strong attack frame data.
Oh, it's a good thing you've come to me, because I've got a pin here,
You'll have to
forward
read them out. They're very
forward strong, 24 frame startup, up strong 16, down strong 12.
Okay, that's pretty different. That's pretty significant.
Is double the startup of down strong.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I understand completely now. What does this bomb on me mean? Because I immediately thought C4. Like, it could be blown up whenever.
Yeah, you're not far off. Usually when it's planted on you, the mine, it has like a startup period. So this situation that we're seeing on screen now is a unique interaction. When you're in parry stun, the mine gets planted on you and it becomes active immediately. And now, if Aliana hits you with a missile, it starts exploding. And it has like multiple hitboxes, keeps you in place for a second, so she can combo off it. So you can sort of use it the same way as Snake to some extent, where you can get those cheeky kills off the top.
Is it only missiles that explode it?
Only missiles explode it into like the mine animation. Her neutral special, if she hits a character with a mine, does greater knockback.
Okay.
So it doesn't explode the mine in the same way. It just does increase knockback.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So she can plant that on the ground, or plant it on you. If she up specials at any time when it's stuck to you, the mine drops.
Oh.
So it no longer becomes stuck to you, it just falls.
Yeah.
So that's interesting at this particular %, because if you knock Irene off stage right now, she
loses the mine.
Then has to decide, do I want to up special to recover, or if I up special, I'm going to lose this mine, and the mine could be pretty important. So, very, very weird parry punish going in, but you can see that she's got the mine and it's exploded straight away. Interesting. Alright. You notice how this rock is still out of play completely here on this platform?
Yeah.
Throughout this entire sequence? What a pain in the ass that's been to be this stock. You haven't tried to do anything with it. Like, you obviously changed it at the last second, but I thought that was a perfect opportunity to get rid of it for a second. Second there. Alright, so some rock shard angles. Missed opportunity.
Down tilt, you reckon?
Has to be either moving, like, in the spot that you've got, down tilt, probably she would have just hovered above. I'd probably say nair, down throw nair.
Okay, yeah.
If you can do the break cancel, it's even better, but I don't expect you to do the break cancel. If you want a really easy bread and butter break cancel, you can wave land onto the rock and down strong.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean by break cancel?
You cancel your landing leg for the down.
Yeah, so you land on the rock and then at the same time break it so that you become actionable immediately. So no end lag, no landing lag. Okay, so yeah, probably should have been down air. Not down air, a down tilt, or more likely a neutral air to cut off the 45 degree. And that's not even discussing the other rock options that you had of just like changing your positioning a little bit more or being more direct with your rocks. We got our own a pretty high percent here. Oh, okay. You pulled rock.
Off stage.
Yeah. Since you didn't know about the mechanic, you didn't know you were going to get away with this. Because she's overheated, you got away with it.
Yeah.
If she wasn't overheated, she would have missiled, you would have died.
I still almost died.
Yeah. Missed time down there, which is unfortunate. Probably not used to how fast Crag falls. Yeah.
No.
Just need to get that muscle memory back in.
Yeah. I'm thinking about buying this Switch. Yeah.
Irene's CI is pretty poor here.
Yeah, she got that straight in.
I think with the fair, but you drifted back with the second fair instead of trying to maintain like the same position. Your character should be almost on top of hers right now when you're going for this next fair, because then that'll make it easier to get the fair after that. You have to remember how far inwards the hitbox covers. Like it's. Ugh, bugger. Sorry. I was tabbed into the wrong screen as I'm trying to do things.
That's alright.
Let's.
This is when.
We're just gonna go back and watch. Yeah. Yeah. So we think that second fair meant that she was able to go underneath you. What did you do on the up tilt here?
Pun?
When Irene is doing this up tilt here.
Yeah.
A full second before she's actionable.
The second.
Yeah, 60, 61, 62 frames, I think it is.
Is that of end line?
So this forward air, I actually don't think it's good enough.
Do you reckon I should drop down up tilt?
Yeah, I think you had better options of doing like an up tilt, dash attack to go into like cancelling a jab or a forward tilt, something like that. You had better options here. The forward air kicks her away too far. Potentially you could have even landed and done like reverse forward tilt so that she gets knocked back this way and things like that. That's unfortunate. What are you doing? I understand that the rock throw put you in an awkward spot, but
I honestly thought I think my down air would power through it.
I think you also thought that she was going really high up with the down special, because you've just double jumped and put yourself super high up. Get hit by this team throughout her entire tech window. She's then dropped through the platform. I think you tried to up air then?
Man.
And then you put the whip landing leg from the up air. I'm surprised you got the parry, in all honesty. That seemed pretty shocking, Bisky.
It's just rust. Don't worry about it.
So this is what I mean. Like, in like the zone of V zoner thing, how much better was Rock than Missile in that situation?
Yeah, it's just so much faster.
6% that she's taken, and it's still like an active thing that you can pick up and do something with more quickly now that you've got it in play. So you have to just think Rock beats Missile in that style of gameplay.
Yeah.
All right. With the steam in play there, that made it very tricky for you, I want to say. But you pulled Rock. Steam's sitting in front of your face and you pulled Rock.
I didn't think it was a threat at all, because she was nowhere near me. Do you
Yeah,
reckon I
but
should have parried it?
she can always do this.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, parrying would have been fine. Probably wouldn't have been enough, honestly. I potentially would have wanted to have changed vertical positions and be on this platform, so like rise up the neutral air and just like land on the plat. Maybe. I don't know. At the very least, I would never have pulled Rock there. I probably would have tried to move around it, or like down tilted as my fast option to move the steam away slightly. So that way, if she did try to move the steam towards me, I'd have more time to react to it.
Yeah, I was thinking Rock was my answer to move through steam, because I didn't know you could use hitboxes.
Yep. Makes sense. Anyways, you need to be very careful about when you pull Rock in this matchup. Missiles are very quick. So here we go. Up tilt's happened.
Actually.
I think you landed, so you weren't in fear of not having pillar. So here we go. Up tilt. Up tilt. Knockback scales with heat.
Oh, okay.
So she was fully overheated and she released the full heat on you, and you just got launched, and you DI'd straight out. Eliana also has the option to not use any heat. So had she held that, your DI would have been perfect. So she had you in like a 50-50 mix-up situation.
Okay.
You guessed wrong. If you were doing survival DI and she didn't release heat, you instead probably would have been hit with a charged strong attack potentially. I'm not sure. I think because she was overheated, her options were limited. I think you always do survival DI when they're overheated though.
Sure.
Because a very common chain from up tilt is like up tilt into fully charged missile.
Sorry, I just remembered. You remember how you're like, why did you short hop? It's because I set my L1 button to short hop as opposed to jump.
Okay, sure.
Well, like no Johns, but that was definitely my John.
Alright.
Yeah.
What a jumper you were wearing last night on stream?
Me now? No,
Are you wearing it now?
I'm wearing a sweater.
I thought you were wearing this one last night.
Oh, on stream? No, I was wearing like a yellow one.
Sure.
You sound skeptical
Okay.
almost.
Irene's banned some weird stages going. This is what annoys me. People can't pick a lane and stick to it. She hasn't gone like, oh, I hate large stages, I'm gonna ban all the large stages. Like, yeah, I'll ban Aramata because the walls, maybe, I don't know, it seems weird. But then she's also banned, like, Rock Wall because of the side blast zones. I feel like you can't always do both in certain games.
Yeah.
Like, Rivals is one of them. You have to sort of be like, yes, my character does good on flat stages, I'll ban all the stages with lots of platforms. Things like that. So her bans are weird, they don't really tell me much.
So it looks like it's just personal preference then.
I guess, I'm not sure. We've gone back.
Yeah.
Why have we gone back, Bisky?
Honestly, I think this is just my best stage.
Okay.
And I don't think, like, I think the reason I lost was because of matchup inexperience.
Yeah, for sure.
And, like, unless I'm gonna fully commit to camping her out, wasn't gonna really, I don't know. I'm gonna change state.
Okay. Up tilts, so we can see how laggy that was. It meant that even with everything you're doing over here, you still had time to hit her. You've done the dash attack and the jab, which I like. But the down tilts, she was already in the air after the first jab, so that meant the down tilt wasn't going to work out because of where she was. If she was like center stage when you started this, she would have had the option to like drift out and tech on the ground. She didn't have that option, so you needed to choose an attack which hit slightly higher above. I would say do jab 2 forward tilt, or just like cancel the forward tilt straight away, or reverse up tilt, because Eliana's so big, the reverse up tilt would have hit as well.
Could you do unreversed up tilt or a nair?
No, what I would say is, do you know that jab 2 is jump cancelable?
No.
Yeah, so on hit, Krag's jab 2 is jump cancelable. It's the only jump cancelable jab in the game. So you can do jab 1, 2, jump cancel nair. And that is basically true.
That's pretty busted.
It depends on what state the character is in when you start the jab. Yeah, it's extremely good. And there's situations where you can do like jump cancel into forward air when they're like in this exact scenario actually, where they're like off stage hanging and they need to DI out to escape certain things, but then they need to DI in. It's sort of weird.
Yeah.
Jump cancel nair probably would have been good too.
Is it a generous window to jump cancel it?
Yeah, only the first 2 frames of end lag can't be jump cancelled, and then the rest can.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty generous.
Or 3. It's a massive window. It's the entire remaining frames of end lag after jab 2.
Yeah.
So you can buffer that and get it out really quickly. In any case, down tilt was not the correct option.
No.
And even that neutral air was a bit weird too.
I think I saw the down tilt didn't connect, so I wanted to follow up with the nair.
Are you trying to cover like the platform there, or are you just...
No, I just assumed nair would hit.
Yeah, she's a little bit too high for that.
Yeah.
I mean, so the hitbox is like here on the round of his back. So she wasn't too far off, but yeah, neutral air very slow. For the hitbox that you needed there.
I'm pretty sure that broke my side B.
That's hilarious.
What, the smash attack or the recovery?
The recovery.
Yeah, I know. How good was it? I actually clipped and showed Connor.
Yeah, I noticed you sent it to me on Twitter as well. Okay, so I don't want to talk about the recovery chain. What I want to talk about, so yeah, fine, you got hit. You're trying to forward special at a disadvantage. Don't do that. Just flat out don't.
Okay.
Look, there are some players who definitely get away with it. Because, you know, I'm going to say it, the Australian scene aren't patient enough in those situations, or they feel like they have the advantage and they just keep overextending. So that forward special is a great tool to stop people from overextending. But, that being said, even if you had got the forward special out, if you had waited, you're then putting yourself into another 30 frames of end lag later on. It gets weird. Don't make it a habit. In this situation, she's caught you in the startup and you've been hit off stage, which is fine. But what you also then did was you used up both your resources straight away. I just saw you double jump and then air dodge upwards, and then do a high pillar recovery. So you've probably waited the longest period of time you could possibly have to pillar at this distance, which has meant that she's able to just follow up like this.
Okay.
As soon as she saw you double jump, I think she had the license to start extending off stage slightly. When she saw you air dodge, she knew that she was probably in the clear. The only thing that I think Irene got wrong was she's in overheat state. So, her extending means it has to be very linear. She cannot extend into you doing a forward special from this side. which is what I think you should have done after you have used your resources like that. Because she's probably reacted to the pillar noise to extend here, but she was still moving in before that pillar noise even happened. So I think the forward special gets her either hit or tells her that she needs to back off. And if she backs off, then you can potentially think about other recovery paths.
Yeah.
What
So
I'm wondering is that, were you scared to go to the wall because of her throwing a missile or things like that?
Well, I think my thought process was...
Why the high recovery is what I'm asking.
So, in Smash, if you jump close to Blast Zone, you survive for a little bit more %. I saw I got knocked back. I thought I was going to die, so I was mashing jump. And then, I think I didn't want to recover low. I spawned the pillar. I don't know why I air dodged. I think I did just want to get high up. Because I knew that once I landed on the pillar, I would be able to get all my resources back.
Yeah, it's too slow what you've done. Yeah, that jumping thing is definitely not a thing in Rivals.
It's not?
It doesn't stall your momentum. Like air dodge and forward special does in Crag's kit.
Okay, because in Smash Brothers, if you use your special move when you're in knockback, it won't reduce your momentum. So you need to jump or air dodge, or wait until your knockback has finished before you can use your specials, essentially. Because if I side bead here straight away in Smash Bros, I'll just go straight into the blast zone. I wouldn't stall or then move forward.
Yeah, only certain attacks have that. Crag Pillar, I don't think stalls straight away. I think there's a little bit of a delay.
Okay, yeah.
But it's been a while since I've tested that. I could be wrong. I think air dodge is universal, that it does that in Rivals. And I think Crag's forward special stalls.
Okay.
Yep. So you've got away with this here, but Irene's also made the mistake of just sitting here and watching you because she's in shock. If she was prepared for it, I think a down tilt at the ledge here would have been enough to just cap off this stock anyways.
Yeah.
So you've got away with it, is what I'm telling you. Oh. Why the rock pull?
So hang on, what would you jump? Up tilt, up here. Yeah, so I think I pulled rock here because I was expecting her to act out of hit stun.
Yeah.
And then I thought I could grab rock and then punish her next move with that.
I feel like you could have sharked her out with aerials more. She's at 75%. She's not high percent, but the rock lets her get to this spot. Which then, if you're too slow on this, she can parry the rock and she starts, finding ways to get around it by just moving. I think the rock gave up too much space.
Sure.
When she was still at like medium percent as a heavyweight. I think you just needed to jump back, wave land onto the platform, do like an up tilt, or just like extend with a neutral air or something. Like something big to hit her. If you were going to keep going with it, that is. Up tilt definitely probably would have been my choice there. Wave land onto this plat, up tilt. So she's got away from the rock there. Nice reading the tech. Ooh, you almost had something there with the back air and the forward air.
You can't ledge cancel your aerials, can you?
Yeah, you can.
You can?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. I think the way she timed that missile meant that you were dead almost every time there because you weren't at the wall. There's a very, very brief window where I think that kills you before you're actionable. But you definitely could have gone to the wall there to prevent that.
Just side B straight away, you reckon?
But it's this part that got you.
Okay.
It's the double jump, air dodge, now how do I land kind of thing. And you didn't land with an aggressive option. If you had a fallen with a neutral air here, or a forward air, that would have got her, because she's not doing anti-approach tool either. She's waiting for you.
Okay.
Miss parry. So you're up against the corner. You felt pressured. You parried. Unfortunate, it happens. We don't have any resources right now, but we could start a forward special again and get to the wall. You'll end up a little bit lower when you use a pillar. That's fine. Or you can just drift, and you probably end up in the same spot. So the forward special or not forward special thing is just a matter of timing. It's just like it's slightly faster to drift in and up special, but...
What do you think about doing the pillar cancel rock special here? Wait, did I do that or did I just summon pillar? I think I just summoned pillar.
I think seeing the missile, there's an argument to be made about pillarless recovery, but I think you used up both your resources, and that makes it hard to recommend it.
Okay.
Because you used both your resources to go up again. You're not using any of your resources to move closer to the wall. So that's putting you in this tricky spot where you have to either pillar from far away, or you have to do what you just did, and you're like your forward special close, and then if you're not close enough, you get put in an awkward spot. You have to start using your resources to move closer. And that means either air dodging in, or doing a forward special out of hit stun, and then using your resources to move more horizontally, or doing like a timing your double jump in a certain way. You don't want to do it out of hit stun every time, but timing it so that you can carry some momentum forward. Because yes, Craig has the ability to refresh his resources, but it's really important to have, in particularly this spot here, like this sort of area that you are, it's particularly important to have double jump available, especially. Because then if you have done forward special from where you were, you end up here, and what you can do is you can protect your recovery a little bit more. So you double jump forward here, and then if it hits them, beautiful, you've given yourself some space. If you need to, you do a pillarless recovery from there, just get back on. Otherwise, you can pillar then, knowing that she's not going to be able to throw a missile out at you. You've given yourself some time. And that way, if she's like trying to go down, hunt you from, it's like to stop you from pillaring a wall, at the very least, you've put out like an aggressive option and be like, no, this is my space.
Yeah.
So being able to save double jump until you get to like this spot here is really important. You'll basically see it. Any VOD of mine that you watch, I'll be doing that exact same sequence. I'm trying to protect my recovery path.
Yep, makes sense. Yeah, I'm definitely burning my jump way too soon.
So it does. It also guarantees that you get this wall pillar, which in practically every matchup, wall pillar is the best pillar spot.
Really?
I can't think off the top of my head a matchup where it's not the right decision. At least 50% of the time. You know, there are some matchups where fast pillar is pretty good, but that's more of a rarity than anything else. Like fast pillar is like always a good option in some situations, but there are many matchups where it's very hard to get a fast high pillar.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good.
Anyways, so
oh,
poor
yes.
resource use led to poor pillar placement. You just getting killed because Eliana. Alright, probably not enough there on the punish. You had time, but you just didn't space your jabs correctly. I was interested to see how you used play around the steam there, knowing that it was in your face. We're doing forward specials in neutral again, Pisky.
You know me. I think I was actually a bit defeated mentally this game.
Yeah. That was a good situation where fast pillar worked out. You didn't use any of your resources before you pillared.
Yeah.
So you were just able to pillar instantly. Bam! I'm recovering straight away. She doesn't have time to see you hovering in this spot.
Okay.
Start preparing things.
Sure.
So you can't use your resources first and then pillar. You have to actually pillar straight away, because you don't want to give the opposing player time to set up their things or start moving towards you, or timing a projectile, things like that. Yeah, that's good. Her DI was poor, but yeah, it's fine. I'm not sure what happened there. Were you trying to wall jump and it just drifted away?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see you drifting towards the wall and then you start drifting out too early. Alright, I like it. So a couple of turnaround nairs there. I actually really like that sequence, like a DI mix-up.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, you weren't able to extend it any further than what you did. There are a couple of options to keep it going. Oh, whoa. Are we getting too greedy here? What are we doing?
Getting a little bit greedy.
So the up tilt and the forward air was fine. Unfortunately, you pulled back too early picking up the rock. I think you probably should have started to cut off this space in front of the mine. You don't want to be behind the mine. Because it let Irene get in a little bit here.
So if it's on, just while we're talking about mine, if it's on the ground, can it still only be blown up by missiles?
Yes, it is. And it will still create the same hitbox. It'll just be stuck to that spot.
Okay. Yeah, because I still didn't know that. I thought she would just be able to...
One other element to it is that when mine is in the air, before it gets attached to anything, all hitboxes actually move it. So if Eliana is above you and tries to plant mine, if you up tilt, the up tilt can hit the mine away and then hit Eliana. So you won't get stuck by it. It's not like invulnerable to your attacks.
Okay.
Alright, so we forward special on the ledge. So we talked about the situation, like how poor of an option it was over here. This is where the situation works out for you, where you've done it out of disadvantage and she's overextended. I still don't like this in general, but since you've gone for it and it's worked out for you, we now need to do our follow-up, which was the neutral air, which I like. Fast hitbox, you can get something going here. And you've got her into this spot here. She's DI'd in on that last hit of neutral air, and you're on the ground here.
Do you reckon just jump up air would have done it?
Yeah, come on, man. Look at where she is. The up air definitely would have done it.
Yeah. Look, I just read
charge strong attack. She's way too high up for that. If you had to potentially done the attack lower to the platform, and she was like, halfway up at the time, then yeah, that would have connected. But she was already above you when neutral air 4 hit. Yeah, the up air definitely would have been the better option.
Yeah.
You got away with it there. She hasn't punished the end leg. Definitely should have been punished.
Oh, for the up tilt?
The up strong.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But you tried to forward special at a disadvantage there again. I can see it as a habit of yours.
Oh, yeah, for sure it is.
Yep. Oh, God. I'm a little upset watching some of the,
It's winners round 1. That's alright.
Yeah, I understand.
We get a little spaghetti, just as a treat.
You probably stole that game away a little bit there.
Yeah, I did actually...
In the end, I felt like Irene was starting to get the momentum at the very end of that stock.
Yeah, I accidentally fat-fingered neutral special to punish her up tilt as opposed to down special, down strong as well.
Interesting to say that she... Oh no, this is your Vince. My bad.
Yeah.
I was looking away for a second. Alright. Do you notice that you've been 2 of the same stages that she did?
Yes. So, I I did take that into consideration against Rendered Spy. And then I got counterpicked to Rock Wall anyway. But this time I was just like, well, I want to make sure that I don't go to stages I don't feel comfortable on.
Rock Wall against and Lori every time, but it is interesting. I don't know. I feel like if you were banning, Frozen Fortress probably would have been one of the ones that I would ban. Aliana can like circle camp you quite a bit with her projectiles and things like that. And she has hover jump, like super jump aerials essentially. So if she's on the ground and she starts hovering and buffering and attacking immediately, she gets basically a super jump and she can extend onto like the top flaps super easily with an aerial. It's one of the core movement mechanics that she has. So like top plats are much better for Aliana, like high ones. So stages like Fire Capital, Frozen Fortress, to a lesser extent Merchant Port, but I wouldn't worry about Merchant Port so much. Those two are kind of weird to play against Aliana. Aramata is sometimes an issue as well, but I think you're right in banning that one.
What are your thoughts on Schuylkill Pond? Because I can't stand that stage. I feel like the platforms just get in the way too much.
I honestly don't mind your bans. It's just interesting that you banned two of the same ones that she did.
Yeah.
I think your bans are like going along the right path here. Rockwall's kind of weird to players and Crag in general. I think it's really hard to cross that gap.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't too afraid of this stage. Because I can just camp people out, especially when they don't parry me.
Yep. Alright, we got some good things going here. After some like slow neutral here. I don't understand down specialing the rock. I think having it in front of you like that was a good opportunity to start using shards.
With just jab.
So, no, probably not jab. I think you needed to cut off the diagonal. So after you short hopped, I think falling with a neutral layer into this rock would have been pretty good. Down tilt probably would have been like you have to land and then do the down tilt and the angle is too shallow. The neutral layer protects your space more so that she can't cut in front. And you just got to remember it's an aerial character. So like the diagonal angles are going to be much better than the horizontal most of the time. That special was just too slow, didn't do anything, didn't cover the space above you. So it left you pretty vulnerable out in the open there. Irene's doing a lot of things right there with the way that she's moving.
In what way? Like her jumps?
Yeah, just at the start of that exchange. She let a couple of things slip through. But the damage that you do, her taking those straight hits meant that up strong was going to kill a lot earlier. And just like small mistakes means that Eliana's going to really cop it. Whereas you don't cop it the same way, you're just much heavier than she is.
Yeah. Is Crag the heaviest, or is his...
Yeah, Crag's the heaviest. Okay. Except for Edelus when he has armor.
Yeah.
Let's look at this sequence. Alright, so I like it so far. Down throw I thought was weird. It did hit. I did think it was odd though. I thought dropping through the platform and doing an instant forward throw probably would have been decent.
Ah, true.
Because you can then fast fall, get to ground sooner, and then follow up from it. The problem with the down throw, especially because you double jumped, and you've done it again, this is the second time you've done this, is that you're in the air for way too long. Without that double jump, you potentially had the possibility of doing down throw, fast fall, re-grab if you want. Probably not a re-grab in the situation. Probably better off doing like fall through the platform and neutral air. Just as like a fast option to kick him away. But yeah, these double jumps after the down there, man, you're slowing yourself down too much. You're missing out on stuff.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on, in that situation, instead of double jumping, down airing the rock?
Yeah. So after you throw it, what do you mean?
So, because play it and then pause it here. So like
You
after I've
want
hit
to
her,
put it down there after as you're falling, yeah?
yeah, to shatter to create shards and then continue the pressure.
Yeah, so I do that sometimes, and there's a lot of setups that I do that with. With the exact positioning you were, the shards would have sent her off stage.
Yeah.
So they go in like a diagonal, and if she's on that outer side, she gets hit this way. So yes, it would have been good. I think you had a greater opportunity to do it as you're falling down this way, rather than immediately after the throw. I think it's hard to do after the throw hits.
Okay.
From my experience, anyways, it's too unpredictable how the rock's going to bounce at the exact height. Yeah, so I'm fine with you not down airing it. I think I saw an opportunity, and I don't know whether it would have been the right decision to take it. But what I wanted to talk about was this exact frame here. So a lot of frames where you're not protecting your descent here. But she's tried to whip you on the way down, and you've got away with it.
Do you think landing with Nair is something I need to incorporate more into my play?
If you landed Nair there, it would have been really good. Because your option's way faster, it hits in the perfect spot to protect your falling if you're facing her. This felt like a Nair, if you can manage it. But, you've landed and you tried to up air her as if she's going to keep staying where she was, not anticipating her landing option. This probably needed to be either like a wave dash up tilt or something to get underneath her, or probably needed to be jump cancel Nair.
Yeah.
You know you can jump cancel landing lag in Rivals?
No. Is that for all aerials? All the crags aerials?
Yes and no. If you land during an aerial, it takes into account whiff lag. So if you hit the aerial, you can jump cancel the last 5 frames of landing lag. On heavy characters, this is actually the last 6 frames, because only when the landing lag value is perfectly 6, because heavy characters have the default landing lag option as 6.
Okay.
And if you land without using an option, you can jump cancel immediately no matter what. So I'm not even sure if you do it. Let's say if you do it by accident without understanding it. So landing. Yeah, are you in jump squat here? I can't tell.
I have no idea.
That was jump squat. You without knowing the mechanic, just because of how intuitive it feels, you actually were doing the jump cancel.
Okay.
So if you land a default landing lag state, you can jump cancel landing lag. If you hit someone with an attack and you land, you can jump cancel part, if not all, the landing lag. As Crag, I think down air has too much landing lag. I think the others are fine, and it's just default every time. Maybe we can check. Hey, I've still got this open. Fair is the one that's too slow.
Oh, okay.
All the others, as soon as you land after hitting them, you can jump cancel the rest of the landing lag. And just go into jump much sooner. So yeah, with that in mind, this could have been jump Nair.
Yeah.
Because it probably would have been fast enough.
Well,
has to be a full hop though. Can't be a short hop, I think, because you need to rise up with that hitbox, and then potentially hit fall. If not, follow through with the drift. That's fine. We've missed a couple opportunities there and reset back to neutral. Oh, it's a similar situation we've already spoken about. You get these things going and then you start pulling rock at random times.
yeah, I think because I'm not sure when to extend my advantage. because this might just be my Smash 4 habits coming out.
Yeah.
Because in Smash, because I play Diddy Kong, I would pluck banana here, because I wouldn't be fast enough to chase after the opponent.
Yeah, I think it's not the same as Diddy Kong pulling rock. Pulling rock's a bit more committal.
I think as well what happens is I pull rock, and I see where she lands, and I'm like, well, I feel like I'd be better off with my fair than rock.
Yeah. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, with Diddy Kong, when you have a banana in your hands, you still have access to plenty of options. Craig doesn't have those.
Yeah.
So you limit yourself more. I just think Nair 4, even at high percents, Irene's not going to do survival DI. You can almost anticipate that she's going to DI in if she gets hit with Nair 4. If it was Nair 1 and she DI'd out, yeah, fine, pull the rock. But you're losing opportunities like this.
Yeah.
Like, Nair 4 actually stands at the same angle as Nair 1, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe it's slightly different. Yeah, 55 comparison to 361.
Okay.
So Nair hit 4 is actually slightly further away. Anyways, we pulled rock and look, it hasn't actually come into play here.
Down at forward smash isn't an actual thing, is it?
That is not a thing.
Because I was like, okay. What if it works? It works.
Look, no DI. She started DIing, started drifting right, and then started drifting left, which basically meant that she didn't drift at all.
Yeah.
If she had got down there and started drifting straight away, in either direction, even with the rock there, this wouldn't have happened. She wasn't ready for the down air, essentially.
Okay.
What would have connected more reliably
Down air, forward air?
is down air, jump cancel your landing leg, and then cancel your jump squat into up strong.
You can do jump cancel up strong?
Yes. So yeah, like in Smash, you can cancel jump squat into up special and up strong.
Interesting.
Is that still a thing in Ultimate? I imagine it is.
No, they pulled it out actually. It's like frame perfect now.
Okay. I thought it would be because of tap jump, but I guess not.
No.
Yeah, so that would have made the up strong connect 5 frames faster. So already, we'll scroll over in our frame data here. Up strong's already 8 frames faster at a base level than forward strong. Take away 15, another 5, it's 13 frames faster than the forward strong is in that situation.
Yeah.
And if you do the down air momentum, you can actually make that connect on like full DI out as well. Obviously, it's a DI read at that point, but it is pretty dang good against heavy characters with big hurt boxes like Aliana.
Yeah.
Yep. She just did nothing DI essentially. I like the weight. I think it gave her some pause.
Yeah. She hasn't really been using many missiles this game.
If you're 2 stocks ahead, I think she is trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah. Does that have a special sweet spot that killed me, or was that just high blast zone got up ahead?
Last one.
Okay.
It's a strong move. It has 3 different hitboxes, and you have to DI different ways depending on where you get hit. So you got hit by just in this chain. I can show it off. You got hit by the outside hitbox a couple times, and on this last one you got hit by the inside hitbox, but you were DIing the same way as if you got hit by hit 1.
Yeah.
So your DI ended up going straight up. That's essentially what happened.
Okay.
In that last combo, on the second to last hit, and the last one you were just way too high, and you got purpled. Raster's up air is exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that's interesting. This is where that steam invuln comes into play.
Yeah, that's, I
That,
noticed that.
that I'm discussing. Because if the rock hadn't moved the steam, you would not be able to move through it like this. That's why you got hit afterwards, because your invuln time ran out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, alright. Brett and Butter to finish it.
Up tilt, up air. We love to see it.
No signal. That's weird.
Oh, so what I'm doing there is I'm just disconnecting my Procon. So you have to take the switch out, and then you go through options menu, and but you can only do it when you're in handheld mode because you need to have the Joy-Cons attached.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's like super common in ulti.
Yeah. I don't think there was anything too interesting to talk about at the end of this. Yeah. That's fun. Alright. Gonna take a quick break. I might get some water before we get started on the next one.
I'm gonna fill up my bottle as well. Just take a quick breather. See you all soon, chat.
Alright, I'll just back in a moment. I'm back. How are we looking? Not quite. That's you. Yeah, cool.
Cool. We should be good to go again.
Alright, I am more interested to talk about this set. I think the Crag Ori matchup is much more one-sided, and that actually makes it more interesting to talk about in some degrees.
Have you watched this yet?
Nah, not at all.
Oh, it's like a 3-1.
Oh, you don't need to tell me what the score is, that's fine. I'll just turn that volume down. So, you get first ban. Talk to me about what you're banning, what your process is. What are you thinking straight away?
Again, just like last time, I just want comfort fix. So I think I actually win this RPS.
Yeah, you did. You banned first. So you banned Jules Veil and Blazing Hideout so far.
Yeah, so I just thought Jules Veil. I've played against Ori there before, didn't like it. Blazing Fortress. I think I just prefer all the other stages over them.
Yeah. Alright, so banning against Ori is one of those matchups where it's really defined. Flat stages. Just get rid of them.
Get rid of flat stages.
Yeah, so Forest Floor is Ori's best stage to start on. Definitely should have been a priority ban. Jules Veil's pretty bad as well. Blazing Hideout would be the other one that I'd probably take out of the equation. So, your 2 bans here are correct so far. And then I'm hoping to see you ban Forest Floor in your last one. But, yeah, obviously that's not going to be an issue since you get to pick the stage.
Yeah. Like, I almost always start on the stage. I don't know if that's just because I like this and I pick it, or if it's neutral.
Oh dear. You've put yourself in quite a lot of trouble here.
Wait, is my mic going okay, by the way?
Yeah, mic's fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so seeing Sign's travel path.
Oh yeah, sorry. So Sign is the little orb.
Yep.
Yeah, so I completely forgot that it basically can be an attack at any time, and it took me about a game and a bit till I recognized that. So I got punished a lot just because he ran off. I thought, oh, I'm safe, and then I'd get hit by the sphere.
The charging state has a fairly obvious tell. It's like audio and visual.
Yeah.
So starts charging here immediately. When it's charging, Ori is not able to use the other specials again, similar to Eliana. So that means that Rendered is now locked into charging this until it releases. And the only reason that he does this movement is to put Sign in place here. It is a bit of a parry bait. I think you potentially should have just up tilted, and that would have been fast enough to, like, worst case scenario, trade. Since Rendered has to move into position to hit you anyways.
Yeah.
So parry was incorrect, and you obviously weren't prepared for Sign. So that's a matchup thing. You just don't have the experience with it.
Yeah.
Obviously weren't prepared for Sign moving into spot here.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that my parries in this set are awful. Like, I throw them out defensively in bad spots.
In comparison to Eliana, Ori pressures you a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised to see that your defensive habits change. Anyways, not prepared for this, jumped into it. In that situation, you either need to crouch to lower your hurt box, since you may not be able to parry in time, since your parry is on like a slight cooldown, or you parry it again. It's like a borderline reactable charge sign. There's like a little flash that it does that I think I can show you. No. That's... Gosh, how long is this going to take? I can't tell if that's... Yeah, probably not. So that little wide border, I think, is that when it's starting to release. Yeah. And there's an audio cue that goes along with that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, crouching, or have to parry again. At the very least, I would move closer towards the wall. So that way, if you are hit, you're not going to be hit this way. You're going to be hit towards the wall, and you can tech. what you've done is you've tried to jump in like an arc around it, and you've pretty much got semi-spiked back onto your pillar, which has obviously led to that awkward chain there.
Yeah.
Yeah, some panic parries there as well. Obviously not quite prepared for someone to chase you off stage on the pillar there.
Can I do anything when I get grabbed like that?
No.
No. Okay.
You just gotta wait it out. The sign taps. You know, you could buffer a neutral air. Like, yeah. It's a bit weird. You have to DI away from the direction you're facing if you want to use like like a fast aerial, because if you're here, you can neutral air, and that sometimes beats out Ori's next option from sign taps.
Okay.
I do it occasionally, but yeah, you have to sort of like DI away from where you're facing with sign taps sometimes, because that's the only way you're going to be able to use an attack out of sign taps. Okay, the rock throw angle needed to be neutral air for sure, because you need to cut off like a wall cling or wall jump option, and you want to hit them up high. So Ori's recovery, I mean, it's pretty decent, but once Rand had locked himself into the up special, he was always coming to the wall at this height, and if he chose to do an instant wall jump, his wall jump arc would put him like here. So a rock, a neutral throw rock, cutting off that exact arc. It's not quite that steep. It's like that. Means that you could combo from the rock into a fair that hits off the lip there. You can potentially ledge cancel that fair as well, and then the first fair should break the rock, and then the rock shards should spawn, and then you're trying to combo off the rock shards. So that's like the basic sequence that you can do against a lot of characters, especially when players are moving too high up on the wall. That's basically what you're doing.
Can Ori's up special break rock?
Yes, it can.
Okay.
So you're trying to time it away to clip him at the end there. Alright, good. Tech chase. What are you doing?
I think I was going for the up tilt, and then I expected to be knocked off stage, so I up specialed.
Forward special at a disadvantage again, by the way.
Yeah.
Alright, you're running away, and you obviously didn't change for the correct DI.
Correct DIB
Alright,
up
good.
or down there?
Oh, up and in.
Up and in, okay.
You got hit with a forward strong. It's just survival DI.
Ah, right.
I like the back air. Don't like that you haven't tried to extend into like an up air or something here with the slide off. I think there was definitely some opportunity there. What are we doing? We're using our resources immediately off stage again.
I think I was trying to avoid having to force my pillar out.
Yeah. You can't just use your resources off stage straight away all the time. Okay.
So I think I half expected to make it back.
Survived, honestly.
Yeah. But I didn't jump, I just raw side bead.
Yeah. You needed to jump first.
Yeah.
You had enough time, but you were trying to do it as fast as possible. Just, like the first 5 frames of jump probably would have been enough.
Mm.
Even... I'm trying to think. You need your double jump, so you can't do a ledge boost. Yeah, it has to be grounded jump first. Grounded jump, up special, get to the wall, double jump out of it.
Yeah.
I suppose you have air dodge as well. Okay, there's an argument I could make for ledge boosting. I'm not sure if you know what that is.
Isn't it when you wave land off? Like you wave dash off and then you jump.
You don't have to wave dash.
Oh.
If you jump from a platform or like a ledge during your initial dash time, so you run off during your initial dash and then jump, your double jump gains the boost from your initial dash, so you get a longer jump.
I think I do something similar with rock pool. So I slide off the platform.
Yeah, so you're sliding off during initial dash.
Yeah.
So imagine you were doing that, but you double jumped instead.
Okay.
And the difference is that the double jump gets way more momentum. So on certain characters it does like not much. On other characters it's really significant. So for fire characters, all of them, it actually allows them to cross this gap from platform to platform. Like it goes ridiculous distance. I think there was an argument that you could have done that to get more distance too. It's an interesting situation for sure. Alright, let's fast forward. Alright, we're just going comfort pick again.
Yeah, pretty much.
I worry about this stage against Ori. It seems quite easy for Ori to start taking advantage here.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like there's a lot of space.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need more space, and you need to sort of create opportunities for you to edge guard and pull rock more, and I don't think this stage does enough for that.
What do you think about Blazing Hideout?
Blazing Hideout. See, I like Blazing Hideout, but I also worry about that too, because Blazing Hideout has that long plat, and it really encourages Ori to hold platform and then just plat drop up air all the time. I don't know. I would be looking at Frozen Fortress, maybe Merchant Port over Terror of Heaven as like a starter stage. Gosh, probably Abyssal Gates.
I think we go there game 4.
Even Treetop's pretty decent, I think.
Really? I thought Tree Trop would be unfortunate, but like not great.
Yeah, the problem is that the stage length is really small, so it's pretty good for Ori in that capacity. But at the same time, it means they have less space to run away to.
Oh,
so it means you don't have to, gain so much ground to start approaching them. And that makes it a lot easier to actually start creating opportunities.
Yeah.
Because being able to weave in and out is what's really strong about the character. And the less space they have to do that, the more you can sort of threaten. Because threatening space is how you sort of do it.
Because Ori just completely outspeeds us, don't they?
Oh, you had a really good situation going here. You've burned his double jump. So the fault drum, I hated. Just gonna get that out of the way now. Super committal. Just lagged a little. Still lagging. What's going on there? But I think he popped him before he landed, which means that he doesn't have double jump. So knowing that, I probably would have extended a little bit. Because he can't change his positioning very much. He just has to up special at some stage. And that means he can't be aggressive with his anti-approach options. Like he can't double jump up air. So that's really, really good to know that you could have probably just short hop fared, I think.
Yeah.
Used both your resources again. Didn't get to the wall because of it. Got lucky to get the kill. Another matchup where getting to the wall is really important. Especially because Sign.
Is Sign the blue one, or is that the red, orange one?
No, sign's the blue thing that follows.
Okay.
I'm saying it for this exact reason. Like, rendered extended offstage, whiffed, but he was charging sign that entire time because he knew that if he whiffed, he could release sign and it would still act as a way for him to combo you later.
Yeah.
I feel like he's moving like this as well, dashing in and out because he's trying to cover ground with sign instead.
Sorry, say that again.
Ugh. That's why he's moving like this on the ground.
It's because he's trying to punish landings with sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's playing certain situations like he's glued to the ground, but in all those situations, it's because he's got sign charged. So that's why he's running back like this. He like runs in, tries to bait you into landing, and then releases sign charge there. I can't believe this worked, by the way.
I don't know, I just got like a feeling where he'd be, and then I immediately upbeat because I was like, oh crap, did I just kill myself?
I got so scared.
Me? Yeah, right there. I was like, oh shit, I'm dead.
Yeah, you definitely needed to use Pillarless to recover, just in case he saved him. Audio is low, but I can still hear way too much of the commentary.
Yeah. I actually kind of do alright in the first stock or so, I think.
Get distracted by the commentary, I think. Hang on. We didn't talk about stage bans here.
Yeah.
Need to ban Rockwall every time.
Yeah.
Need to probably ban Forest Floor every time. And then from there, you either choose Jules Veil or Spirit Floor, whichever one you hate most.
Okay.
I know you don't like Triple Pond's layout, but it's just so much better in this matchup than either of these stages. But you've basically left him
His best
three
stage.
of his best stages open, and he's spoiled for choice. Rockwall is definitely one of Ori's best stages in a lot of matchups.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I was a bit, like, I wanted to make sure I just banned Treetop Lodge.
Yeah. No, I think Treetop's pretty good. I understand that it's like deceptive, but having the shorter stage is actually not bad in this matchup because it does mean that anytime you put Ori in disadvantage, they don't have much space to retreat to.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually think he could have survived.
Well, with the rock there. I kind of put the rock there so that... Oh.
Oh no. He played your dare dodge, never mind. Alright, sure, we got a freebie stock for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see how he's moving again. Like he's glued to the ground with that charm sign.
So what do you reckon I should do when he's moving like that?
It depends on the stage. It's hard on this stage because the platforms are one on top of the other. So putting yourself on the platforms also keeps you in like a tight horizontal space that you can't really move away from because you can't cross from this platform to this platform very easily.
Yeah.
So that makes it really hard for Crag to move across the stage. Ori doesn't have that weakness. Ori can be here and then jump off and they can end up here quite easily because their aerial drift is just so much better. So it's this gap in the middle that makes this stage so much better for Ori than it does Crag.
You run Dave's stupid rule, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So if you lost this stage, or any of the four that I chose, you wouldn't have to go back there again.
Sure.
So essentially, you would expect to always drop one game against Ori on one of those stages.
Okay.
And then your stage bands become a lot stronger after that.
Is that the same for best of threes?
Yes.
Okay. What am I doing right at the moment? How am I not dying?
Yeah, I was just thinking that actually. Because it feels like we're watching a pretty extended piece of back and forth trading here, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because normally he just rushes in my face.
A little bit after this. Yeah. Well, we're just blows here at the moment. I think changing up your vertical positioning there was a decent move, and mixing that up, because he started charging sign, and then because he started charging sign, he didn't want to cross up too high.
So why don't they like going into the air when they're charging sign?
It just makes it less predictable where it's going to end up. I think this is more of a rendered thing than an Ori thing, though.
Okay.
So we just get shards there. He's got a little greedy for the kill, which Render does fairly often. Once he sees that you're racking up on the percent, he'll start trying to hone in on certain attacks, trying to press you off stage and just get a cheeky kill. So the down special is like an anti-approach option worked out there. And then obviously he's giving you opportunities to use rock for the first time properly on the same plane. Because other times that you've pulled rock, you haven't been able to throw it towards him. You've been on the wrong vertical plane to do that. In those situations, you need to start thinking about ways you can use rock shards. So, the sequence that I do all the time is neutral throw into down air, and then that sends the rock shards downwards.
Oh yeah, I see you do that all the time.
Yeah, you can do the same thing with down special to get diagonal shards.
Yeah.
And then there's mix-ups you can build on that. So you can do neutral throw into re-grabbing the rock into down throw. And that's like a timing mix-up, if they're trying to parry the shards and things like that. A lot of mix-ups that you can do with rock in the air.
Yeah. Oh, then I think I just die here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look, that's rough, man. You essentially can't DI out because it's rock wall. So, what kind of happens is that your DI on the projectile was bad, and you didn't tech, so he was able to get the dash attack quite easily. Obviously, not reacting to the charge sign, and then it was just bad DI on, I think, the first up air. And by the time the second up air comes out, you're at that like sweet spot percent range where it just links into another one, even with the correct DI.
Yeah.
Really hard. But the DI in this one was bad because you were scared of the blast zone. Which is like actually closer than what you think it is.
It is quite short here.
Yeah. Well, I think it started down there and you needed to start drifting this way to survive. But I guess you didn't recognize it straight away. We've been in the same stages.
Sorry?
I was trying to figure out what stages he's manning. I think he banned the same ones last time too. Yeah, exactly the same bans.
Okay.
Oh, Miss Waveland, that's a beautiful way to start off.
Always a good sign. What do you think about this stage here?
Okay, but you're not making use of the stage if you're getting gimped at this percent, because you're dead here, aren't you?
No.
As if you survived. Oh, that's disgusting.
I'm just great with my recoveries. I don't know what to say, Dylan.
No, it was terrible recovery. 'Cause what happened was
Jump
you did
it.
this funny thing again. You jumped air dodge. And not only did you jump air dodge, you started drifting out because you went, oh, you know what, low pillar is probably the way to go. But the low pillar is good because even if this whiffs, or he doesn't do it, and he pressures the space above you or whatever, it stops you from jumping off this pillar. And what that does is it lets this projectile break the pillar and then you die. So the up air was enough to kill you, and then he's just let you get back on for free because he's too slow to recover and actually protect the space.
Yeah,
So it was bad play from him, but it was terrible play from you. And it almost happened again. Oh, that needed to be neutral there.
the second fair.
Okay, so yeah, happy with this. Needs to be there, right there, and then right here. I'm not sure what the dash attack was for. I expect you thought he was going to drop to go to the wall.
Yeah.
That either needed to be fair or Nair. Nair is like your most important aerial in this matchup because you cannot undervalue having a frame 5 aerial. Character as fast as Ori, you need that frame data advantage.
Yeah. I think just landing in there is something I need to do more often.
I like the landing into parry, that was interesting. You're seeing how he's using your shards
Yeah.
against you a little
I
bit
didn't
here?
really know the counterplay to that.
He's able to do it with Rock as well, so you need to be careful about leaving it out. Basically, don't put Rock into play unless you have a game plan to either use it immediately or get rid of it immediately. You can't have it out against Ori. That's a rule that you should probably follow in most matchups. Oh, you've just landed in it. Yeah, you're dead again, aren't you?
No, I'm godlike. Come on.
Oh my
Give me a
God.
bit more, get more credit than that.
I think I'm giving Rendered too much credit. He had you in the position that you were dead. Alright, So this is the downside of what Rendered does here. He, gained all this space, and instead of protecting this directly, or just like back airing you or something, he started setting up a charge sign, and he went, oh, I need to let that do the work, so I'm going to back off. And he just let you land for no reason. You see how much better that was without you air dodging? Even if you double jumped and then you pillared, it was still so much faster because you didn't air dodge that you were able to recover.
Yeah, I'm like noticing how... I didn't even notice how often I just air dodged all the time.
Yep.
Like, a habit so deeply ingrained.
Oh.
And I'll slow there.
Yeah. Could have been good. Alright.
Yeah.
I actually feel like he had a lot more cooking there than he may have realised.
I think
You did pillarless.
the pillarless was the mistake.
Yeah. What I was seeing was him hit you with the up air, and I'm seeing wall jump up air. But he doesn't do it. It should have been like instant wall jump up air to hit you.
Yeah.
Because then if you pillar, his up air breaks the pillar. So I think you were in a spot where even if you pillared, you probably would have been dead. If Rendered had have gone down that path. Yeah, it definitely felt like you were not in control of this set in any way.
No.
Even in the game you won.
Yeah, I definitely stole that game. I killed him at, like... with removing pillar once, and then I killed him at 20 or something with a down air off stage.
Is that 10% when he
10%
died?
with the down air or the pillar.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
No, the down air at the end.
10%.
Oh, no, you were at 10%.
Oh, I was at 10%. I thought he was at 10%.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he was at 10% as well. But yeah, no, 45, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, look, against Ori, you can't make sloppy timing mistakes. So any time that you're wasting off stage, like you had been doing, is really costly, and that's why he was able to follow you out in your pillar so much. He shouldn't be getting away with doing that, and that's why I was talking about protecting that recovery path by saving that double jump. So if you do that instant forward special, hopefully he's not close enough that he just goes and snipes you during your end lag. But then at the very least, you're like close enough here that you can double jump and then use an aerial to protect it a bit more.
Yeah.
Cool. Like any time that you're moving without purpose in this matchup is just way too costly. This is, in my opinion, Craig's worst matchup.
It does feel pretty bad.
Yeah. Only Rasta can be considered nearly as bad, but I don't think Rasta is as bad as Ori. I think Ori is just much harder to play against.
I haven't played against Jet since I quit earlier, but like our sets were getting pretty close towards the end. They don't feel, I don't know how much he's improved, but back then it didn't feel unwinnable.
Yeah, look, if you played him now, I'm sure he could show you how unwinnable it can feel.
Okay. Because it has been like 3 years. Oh, not 3 years, like 2.
Jet is good at playing my Crag. I don't know how good he is at playing other people's Crags.
Is Fel still here? Or did he die?
Fel was still around, and Fel was like the only other player than myself to take a set off Jet last season, I think.
Okay.
I think I was who took a set, not a tournament. Fel actually took a tournament off Jet, which was much more significant.
Yeah. What's your record against Jet at the moment?
I'm the only player in the country with a positive win record on Jet.
Oh, damn.
I can't tell the exact numbers, but I'm positive on him at the moment. And I have been the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I think the year prior to that, he was positive on me, but
he was
negative against every other player that mattered at the time. Okay. And then obviously players started moving on, so once it became just Jet and I fighting for the top spot, with a few other people following close behind us, it's a bit different.
Yeah, fair.
Anyways, let's leave it at that.
Yes, thank you very much.
It's already been a long stream than what I thought.
It has been a hot, it's been 2 hours. So thank you very much for taking your time out.
Yeah, all good. Best of luck with the rest of the lockdown streaming.
Thanks. Good luck with working from home.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. All right. Catch you later.
Bye.